Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Sweet Poppy Stencils. So today I thought I would show you a make using one of the new stamps from the collection Beautiful Botanicals Collection 2. So we're going to be using the Snowberries, which is a beautiful elegant stamp, and we're also going to be using from our festive phrases the Merry Christmas from it. We've done the make in the black embossed and also the gold embossed. Just to show you the difference, and I think you'll agree they're both very, very classy. So we're going to do the gold emboss for you. So to start off with, I have a piece of Bockingford watercolour card because I am going to be using the watercolour pens to colour in. My stamp press, we're also going to be using Wow Gold embossing powder, and to set off we will anti-static. So that's the good thing to start with. So anti-static all the way over, lovely. Because I don't want any stray embossing powder on there. So I think we will go that way. Okay. So I have a clear embossing pad that I'll be using. So I'm just going to line this up where I want it. So I think that's quite nice there. Just making sure that I've got enough room for Merry Christmas to go in. I think that's quite nice, lovely. Okay, so magnets down so it doesn't hopefully shift. Fab. Pick up, just make sure we're down, and we've got the clear Versamark embossing pad. Just check I'm in shot. That's a good idea, Lou. Fabulous. So the pen I'm going to be using to colour in is from set 2. It's the Moss. It's a lovely green. It's my favourite green at the moment. So gently walk across, make sure that we're all covered. Don't forget your corner bits. Lovely. So try not to handle the card too much because I want to also put some up in the corner there. I've got my heat gun already plugged in. And embossing powder. It's a little bit hard for you to see at the moment, but once embossing powder's on, you'll see it. So gentle taps. I think we hit it straight off. That's brilliant. So let me just reach. Just gonna get. Hopefully my head's not in shot. Any little strays. So I've got a few little strays this side. I'm gonna just catch my leaves just there. Good to go. So rather than stamp it whilst that's still in powder form, I'm gonna heat it because I don't want it shifting or catching or anything. So excuse if I knock the camera, I don't mean to. Heat up. So we're getting the heat gun nice and hot before we go to it. So hopefully underneath, just hopefully catch any stray particles, and then try and get a good shot of it, and then we'll see if we can get it going. And you'll start seeing it just turning. So as it turns, move it on. So you'll see it get melting from the powder form and going to the beautiful metallic form. So none of the wafting, just nice, steady, chase it along. Go underneath just to try and straighten out the card a little bit, back on top. underneath, straighten it. Lovely, that's the first one. So we're going to put some up in the corner. So let's just get our card straight. So again, I think I might have to turn it this way. Lovely. Brilliant. I think that's quite good. That's a little bit more leaf on there. So magnets down so it doesn't shift anywhere. Excuse my squeaky chair. I'm going to pick up, tap down. Making sure I've got lots of the Versamark on. And we're going to walk it until we're happy that it's on the card. Lovely. So lift off, back in with the powder. So I can see quite a few strays there. So hopefully with a steady hand, I'll tease them off. Lovely. So just making sure. Just making sure that I've got all the strays as much as I can off. I think I might have bodged it a little bit when I stamped, but that's fine, that's fine. You almost want to blow it, but don't. Okay, so let's pop that in. Get rid of the powder. Fabulous. Just put the lid to one side a sec. I'm going to heat this up again, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do our verse. So again, that. I always think when you stamp with the embossing powder, it does thicken your lines up, so have a little stamp in with your plain ink and you'll see how detailed this beautiful stamp is. Lovely. So we're going in with the word now, so I'm just straightening out my card a little bit. Pop that down, that down. So I'm going to stamp around here. And I'm going to use the Merry Christmas. It's quite a quirky script or font on this, so the words aren't in one straight line, so don't stress too much about getting it perfectly straight. I'm just going to lift up and just do a quick check my eye. Yep, lovely. But what I am going to do is I'm going to just give a dust over. I forgot to do that. So in with clear emboss again. I do need a clean pad. This is a bit manky. So with gentle taps all the way over, and then we'll go in with the embossing powder again. So off. That is our stamping for the moment, hopefully. So pop that to one side, that there. And then for the last time, we're going to go in with embossing powder. making sure you're catching it all. And again, clean up any little stray bits. Was handy, a little brush. So I can see tiny few little strays there, but I'm not being too stressy about it. I think that's probably good to go. Just in case you've knocked any, which I just did. That's better. Any stray bits, get rid of. Back in. Get rid of that. Lid on that so we don't knock it. Pop that to one side and back in. Heat gun. So underneath. So I do have, so this is our Bockingford card that we're stamping on because we're going to watercolour. This size of this is, if I remember rightly, is 10 by 14. And then I've got a 5 by 7 card blank with a bit of matte and layering already on there, ready to go. So we're going to start watercolouring. So we'll do some and then we'll speed it up and go to the matte and layering so we don't drag it out too long for you. So a couple of ways of watercolouring. You can add your water to this and then water it down, so that makes it a lot lighter, or you can go direct. Let me just make sure pen's in. So you can go direct and you can add, and then what you can do is, I'm using the small brush, you can drag out the colour this way. So either way, whichever's good for you will work. So adding, or you can take colour up and you can drag it out that way as well. I feel more comfortable taking up the colour on the brush that way and then dragging it out. But that's just me. It depends what you like. So we're just adding, and you can keep adding colour even when it's dry. Go back and maybe darken the colour if you want. So again, add in, and it's just such I think it's such a lovely stamp this is. I think it's one of my faves. We'll do a couple of leaves and then we'll fast forward it to the end, so you haven't literally got to watch me paint. So we're just filling in all the areas where there's no embossing. Don't forget to blot it because the embossing powder does act as a resist. Till you're happy to pick up, and then, as I said, you can water it right down if you want to, or you can go quite dark. Do this one and then we'll fast forward. Picking up and just dragging it in. You can leave it, as I said, you know, you don't have to colour it in. It looks classy, not coloured in. So we'll fast forward until we get to the end one. we're just finishing off the corner petals. So a bit more water, try not to tip it everywhere. Lovely. So don't forget that when you do it, don't forget the embossing will retain some of it. So what you don't want to do is lean on it. Take some of the water out. Lovely. Okay. Last few petals. Leaves, not petals, leaves. So the nice thing with this is if you go over the edge, which I just have, wet it with some clean water, dab it, and that'll take it away. Just fill in the last few. I think on this release, this is one of my favourite stamps that Amy has done for us. So a little bit more green, pick it up. There you go. So wash that. Make sure my brush is nice and clean again. Back in, or with lid on. Make sure they're on tight as well, they'll click on. Okay, so we have, move that out of the way, get a little bit of water on that. Okay, so we have our base card, a little bit of matte and layer, so let's pop that on. So central-ish. That looks pretty good to me. Lovely. And then just check that everything's nice and dry. And then we're just going to go, and just for quickness, I'm using a tape roller. So just a smidge of gold around, and there you go. A really pretty little make, and as I said, in black, completely different but elegant as well. Hope you enjoyed the make, and don't forget to tune in for more inspiration.